everyone, I'm Hannah Nordman for Hot Roster now. It's Thursday, so we've got a big old slate of hockey with 10 games on the ice. By now, you know how this works. Pick 4 to 10 matchups on any of Hot Roster's 3 NHL cards tonight. If you get them all right, you win. I've got my eye on the penalty shot card, so here's a look at my picks. First up, Alex Ovechkin draws the Sharks while Mike Hoffman gets a primo matchup against the Coyotes. Ovi's always a good choice when it comes to fantasy. His offense is more well-rounded this year with 27 goals and 28 assists in 65 games. And now it finally seems safe to say he won't be hitting that 50-goal mark for a 4th straight year. Honestly, because I said that, he'll be putting up 23 goals in his last 17 games just to spite me. And if anyone can do it, it's him. But production has gotten shaky in the last little bit for the Great 8. He hasn't scored an even-strength goal in 15 games, and even more troubling, he's put up some goose eggs in the shots column the past few weeks. Then again, he put 9 pucks on net Monday against the Stars, so maybe he's just a little bit snake-bitten. On the other side, Mike Hoffman has been super effective in the last 2 weeks. The Senators have won 5 of their last 6, and he's got 7 points in that span, including a couple on the power play. Now, I'm always quick to point out a good matchup, and they don't get better than this at the moment. Arizona's given up 4 or more goals 25 times this year. It's almost a point production guarantee. With Ovechkin in the Shark tank tonight, I'm going with Hoffman. Next up is Jakub Voracek, who's in Toronto versus Zach Parise heading to Tampa Bay. Now, last week I faded Voracek not because he can't put up points, 53 in 65 games shows that he can, but because of his less than impressive plus-minus on the season. The stat might not tell you much about a player's abilities, but it does affect a Hot Roster score pretty significantly. The guy gets his ice time but has just 1 shot in his last 2 games. Meanwhile, Zach Parise's had a strange month and a half. In his past 13 games, he's got 6 goals but 0 assists. The shots are there though, and with the 3rd stingiest D in hockey, the chances his points slip away from a bad plus-minus game is limited. I'm playing Parise. Nazem Kadri and the Leafs host the Flyers tonight while Ryan Getzlaf and the Ducks fly to the Madhouse. Kadri's having a career year, whether it's because of Mike Babcock's guidance or the sheer necessity of having a leader on this young team doesn't matter. He's 1 point shy of tying his career best total and blew by his best season goal total weeks ago. He's getting first-line minutes and top power play time, which have all meant good things for his fantasy stock. Now, Getzlaf is seeing the gradual point production decrease that you'd expect from a 31-year-old, but he's still close to elite territory, especially in the past couple of weeks. He's got 10 points in his last 7 games and playing as much as 24 minutes per night, but up against one of the best in the West, I'm not a big fan tonight. I've got Kadri on my card. Finally, Jeff Carter's line is set at greater or less than 3.5 fantasy points this evening when he takes on Smashville. He's having the most productive season of his career so far with 56 points in 65 games. His shooting percentage is higher than it's ever been, and about 1/3 of his points are coming on special teams. His recent play is where things get murky, though. He's got just 3 points in his last 8 games, and he's been a minus player in 5 of them. The good news is the shots are there, and his ice time has soared above the 20-minute mark. The Predators' defensive game has been shaky, but not as shaky as the Kings' offense. So for that reason, I went under the 3.5 points. Remember, we've got NBA, EPL, and of course, NHL cards up on Hot Roster for you to play right now. And for those of you who don't know what Hot Roster is, check it out. Go to HotRoster.com, download the app, give it a try. It's like no other fantasy game you've ever played. And then for help winning the game, check out Hot Roster today with Cam Stewart and Gary and Thorne every weekday at 4:30 Eastern on the Fantasy Sports Network and 6:30 Eastern on Game TV. For Hot Roster now, I'm Hannah Nordman.